What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Episode 6 of The Rundown, and coinciding in episode 6 with Moon Knight, the finale. Welcome back. We're glad to have you all here. Anthony, how you doing, brother?
Hey man, glad to be back again. I'm on call, but I don't think I'll be called away this evening, so I think we're fine to go to
Awesome.
wrap up
Don't
the
jinx it.
series
I'm
now.
touching wood. I'm touching wood. Please. Don't do it to me now. Don't do it to me now. Awesome. Well, look, we've got a lot to talk about today, guys.
Yeah.
In regards to, we're going to touch on the series finale, and then we'll cover the series wrap up and what we thought of it as a whole. We want you guys to join in as well. I'll address who's here in the chat already. Tom Foolery, what's up, Tom? Thanks for being here, brother. What's up, guys? Can't wait to hear what you thought about the finale. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for stopping by and chucking a comment in. Appreciate it. Where to start? Before we actually get started, we got down the bottom here. As a little tribute to Anthony and his thoughts throughout the season, we have hashtag RIP Scotty or hashtag Free Scotty. Now, we'd love you guys to join in and maybe cast a vote. Is it RIP Scotty or Free Scotty? I'd love to know because Anthony might still be holding on to hope, but we'll see. Even though
keep the dream alive.
Keep the dream alive. Even though Muizzo, where's the wrecked hot toy collection after the Jake reveal?
Yeah.
Yes, I think Anthony. I think he bought a new phone after throwing the last one through a window.
Yeah, I needed a new one, but then we got hope again. So we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, Anthony has hope and he has a theory. So let's go. I got a few things that I was like, damn, I got that completely wrong. So we'll touch on that as we go through the episode. But I think also some things we got kind of right. So we'll see. That's the fun of it, though, isn't it?
And we also need to hear how you guys felt about the season finale, of course.
Yes, please chuck in the chat how you felt about it, and then when we get to the end, once we've gone through the episode, we'll run through all of our overall thoughts, and we'll give a rating on this, not just the last episode, but maybe the series as well as a whole, and where do we think it's going to go from there, and all that type of jazz. So, for everyone that's here with us, without further ado, we might as well get to it. Now, I've gone through, as I was mentioning to Anthony backstage, I went through and was trying to get clips. I ended up with nearly 36 or something high, probably the highest amount of clips that I've ever pictures I've taken. But I've trimmed it down just so we could get through it, being that we're going to talk about the series as well at the end. For sake of time, considering even though we try, we still go on forever. So I think we'll cut it down so we can get to the end and talk about the whole series as well. But we've just had another joiner. Joe, what's up, Joe? What's up, fellas? Looking forward to all our views. Legend, appreciate it. We're looking forward to hearing from you too, what you thought about it. So make sure you stay around in the chat, mate. We'd love to hear that. But without further ado, let's get into our first, I guess, initial thoughts. Anthony, what were your initial thoughts of the episode? How did you feel after you first saw it?
Look, the cool part about the series and why I think the series is the best series Marvel has done so far is because of the puzzle structure it has, and not per se because of the Marvel movie that's on the outside of the puzzle structure. And I felt in this episode we got far more of the Marvel movie part and not the puzzle part. And I felt like we needed at least one more episode, or maybe even 3 episodes, to wrap things up for this series. So it felt kind of like it wanted to do too many things in one episode. So I did like that they didn't make any concessions on episode 1 and 5. They really took the time, but now they wanted to do too much and they kind of rushed it, I felt.
Yeah, I think, and I'm seeing, before I give my thoughts, I'll bring up you guys' chats because that's what we love to do.
Yeah.
So, man, I did not like the finale. Fell out of step tonally with the rest of the series. Yeah, it did a little bit. So in certain areas. Rands, what's up, brother? Thanks for being here, mate.
Ooh.
Legend. He's ready to go. Early riser like myself. Butch, what's up, Butch?
Welcome back.
Legend. Welcome back, Butch. I got Cap here for you. You got Cap on your avatar there, so I thought I'd bring Cap in.
And I agree with Moitzo.
Happy coincidence.
It felt out of tone with the rest of the series because 1 and 5 they actually took the time and then built up everything very well, and
Mm.
it felt like it should have lasted like an hour and a half, 2 hours for the final episode. To be honest,
Yeah, yeah, and I guess if I had to give my thoughts on it, like the first time me and Lani watched it, my wife and I was hyped up. I was super hyped about the action, the fighting, and everything like that. Um, but I started thinking about the things that we'd been talking throughout the season of what we thought would pay off or they might bring in or all that type of stuff. And I started thinking, hey, they didn't do this, and this seemed kind of rushed. And this, I was just thinking moments, I guess. I feel like maybe they're restricted by the amount of episodes. I don't know if that's a
yeah,
predetermined. I'm
yeah,
assuming it's a predetermined thing that they have to do. And being the whole limited series thing, and whether it's going to be a season or all this type of thing, it seems like they've left a lot open. Like the character's not going in it anywhere, which I think, I still think the character's going to be back, or it's going to be in future things. He'll be in future things, or they'll be in future things. So I'm not too worried about it being a limited series, because I feel like it'll
yeah,
either be a movie or a team up or whatever.
yeah,
So that's all good. I'm all good with that. It's just I feel like it left a lot of loose ends with the story it was telling in this one. And apart from loving the action, the loose ends kind of were a bit strange for me, which we'll touch on. Did Joe, the series was more of a character development, more of a Bruce Wayne and a little Batman? Yeah, it was the opposite. I think a lot of people, well, a few people we know, weren't too happy with the show in the sense that it was too character driven, I guess, and not as much action. But I think that can get you when you're expecting it to be a certain way. I try not to expect anything to be a certain way. I just want to
yeah.
go in and enjoy the story for what the story is, and I'll make my mind up after I've seen the story, essentially. So now we've seen the whole show, we can make up our mind about how we feel about it.
Yeah, and if you think, it's a half sentence, I think. If you look at Augustin again, I think if you only look at the Marvel series aspect of it, yeah, it was a character development more than a superhero movie. But I think the
Yeah.
cool part of it is the deeper structure of it, how it's a
Mhm.
puzzle to be solved, and that's something very unique and it's very well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. So, even though the episode probably wasn't the best episode out of them all, for a series, for me, the whole series in all was probably the best series I've still watched, and I still have full on love for the character.
Yeah,
When you think about it, no show is perfect, and they're not always going to give you what you want from it because it's their story. They're the ones making the story. We're just on for the ride, and all our expectations are things that we bring in our own head of what we think it's going to be.
yeah.
So all in all, though, still loved it. But we'll touch on it as we go, and let's try and figure out some of the things that we were thinking about. Whoa, 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 whoa! Before we do that, though, Moitzo, baller, what are you doing?
Oh man.
Appreciate the super chat, brother. Also, great chat and analysis these last weeks. Just thank you for the streams. Mate, appreciate it, brother. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you guys being here. We look forward to having you guys here. Which reminds me, Sia Dream shot me a text and said he couldn't make it today because he's seen Doctor Strange too. So shout out to Sia. We miss you, brother. Hope you get to check it out later. Enjoy Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, and I love how this feels like a, I don't know who said it, but it feels like a book club or a
Yeah,
series club. How we all chat and analyze the series. So it
yeah,
feels like a little community doing this together. So thank you all.
yeah. Thanks a lot, Moit. So you're an absolute legend. Appreciate it, and thanks for being here, brother. Let's have some fun today. Let's close it out strong, because I'm looking forward to going through it all with everybody. Just before we get into it, we'll go through everyone else's chat. So S Beam, what's up? Hey guys,
Yo.
what series? A little lackluster and slightly confusing finale, but damn good series overall. Yeah, and we'll try and debunk some of that today. S Beam, we kind of feel
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same with that last episode in certain areas. And Luke, what's up, brother? Morning, gents. Now, Luke, I was chatting to him yesterday. I had a couple bevies in the middle of the day yesterday. Beverages, alcoholic drinks, whatever you want to call them. And I can tell you, Luke, I'm struggling at this time this morning. I can tell you that. I'm that soft. I had like 3 or 4 drinks and I'm still in the middle of the day and I'm still struggling. I'm soft. But thanks for being here, brother. Glad to have you here. All right, let's do it. So I'll bring up the banner, the journey that we go on, the journey through the show. Let's do it. So we've got, I just cut straight to this clip
Good.
of Harrow. So the show picks up where basically it's picking up straight up after the episode 4, like
Yeah.
where he shoots him, which I thought was going to happen, right?
Mhm.
We got to see what was happening with them after he shot Mark, Stephen, Jake, whatever. Now, what do you make of this Kane turning, like, because it looked awesome, but my thoughts were, what happened for the Kane to change like that? He hadn't broken the statue yet.
Yeah.
So they got Amit's statue, I guess,
Shanti. Yeah.
and then the Kane, the Kane has powered up. But I was thinking, what made the Kane power up like that? Which
You
it
know,
just threw me off. I was
it's
just like,
just
what
now
the?
that you mention it, because in my memory it was after that they broke the Ushabti, but they didn't.
No, this is before. This is before they
Damn.
found it, and then this powers up.
Damn. You know, I was literally more focused on the mid-credit scene and the last 1.5 minutes instead of the whole other episode. So I kind of missed that one, man. Because I
Yeah,
thought it was
like
after. Man.
no, man, he freaking powers up before he does anything. Which I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And is that what you were gonna ask? Like, yeah, what the heck, man? Like, it just powers up. Looks like that was my next question. Yeah, I got a lot of questions from this episode. But either
Yeah, I
way,
had.
it looked cool. He's powered up, but how the
Yeah.
hell did he power up? And what the hell?
Yeah, maybe
Could
he
it
has
be?
harvested enough purple energy from people. I don't know. But it was
Yeah.
more like now it's clubbering time. No more weighing the scales. Just execute everyone.
Yeah, I wish they had have explained that a little bit more because they didn't really explain too much about, he mentioned
No.
throughout the show that the Cane had power, whatever. It gave
Yeah.
him a slither of the power. But yeah, I don't know if just finding the Shakti gave him the power. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's just
Yeah.
a little strange. Looked cool nonetheless. For me, after the
Yeah,
after
definitely.
credit was the best part of the episode. Yeah, that was very cool.
It was.
Left us hanging too, Joe. All right, so
One big
we'll
cliffhanger.
one big cliffhanger. So then we cut forward to, so we see Layla, I guess. Now I'm jumping forward a bit in slides again, Anthony. So if you have points on certain areas, just make sure.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll just wait for the
yeah.
mid-credit scene.
Well, I'll just rant and rave until
I'll wait
then.
for Scotty.
Yeah. And don't forget, guys, in the chat there, we've got hashtag RIP Scotty or hashtag free Scotty for Anthony. Cast
Yeah,
your
let us
vote.
know.
Do you think?
Let us know right
Yeah.
now. Do you think are you guys on RIP Scotty or on hashtag free Scotty? And I will ask again after this episode.
Because I feel like I want to vote both. RIP Scotty, that but also free him because I think Anthony's got some points. He's going to try and sell us on why Scotty's still alive. So let's see. We'll see how we go. But after Layla, I guess, hops on, follows. Now, why did he leave the scarab on Mark? I don't know. It was a bit strange.
I thought it was just overzealous, and he thought he already won. So just have to scare because I have Amit now.
Yeah, that could be it. True.
Yeah.
We got Tom Fuller. RIP Scotty.
We'll ask again.
It says RIP Scotty. Sorry, Anthony.
It hurts. Oh, damn.
No, Scotty. Scotty's gone. Oh man. When I heard Conchi call him Jake Lockley, I was like, oh, poor Anthony.
Yeah, me too. But after that, I thought, hey, wait a second. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. It took some thinking. I thought, okay, maybe there's still a chance. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll go hashtag free Scotty for now because I want to hear what you got to say about it. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, we get to this part. Now, what I was trying to understand was, so this Kane is now powered up and he's draining these guys, except this guy for some reason. Yeah. It's like he's choosing who he's draining. Also, they never freaking explain the whole purpose of him judging these people like this, other than the fact that he's judging for Amit.
Yeah.
Unless he was judging people before to get power to power up the Kane.
Yeah, that's what I think. And,
for what though? Like for
and I don't think he's a just person, even though I think Arrow might think it, but I think only the weak minds are left alive.
maybe just the weak ones.
Oh,
Maybe.
thanks, friends. Thanks,
And
thanks.
still believe in Scott. Hashtag. That's a new
He's my brother,
hashtag.
friends. Friends is my brother.
I think that's a pity one, Anthony. I'm sorry, but I think that's a pity one. Anyway, he kicks everyone's ass here, just calmly as he does throughout the show. And then I skipped ahead. I did have a slide of Layla with a knife creeping up, but then I just got rid of that because it's basically in the same scene.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Layla's going to sneak up to try and take him out. Then you've got Tuat try
Yeah,
and
yeah,
talk to her
thought
through
that.
the
Yeah,
dead
and
bodies.
I love how they just go over this plot hole and they say, "Okay, so what? So I'm talking to dead people. So what?"
Yeah. Just
So they have
believe in
been
the
like,
plot point.
"Okay,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's it. It serves the purpose of the story, it drives the story along. Talking through the dead body, that's what's up. Which, I grew. That character has grown on me. Her character
yeah, true,
has
true."
definitely grown on me. She's lovable, but definitely tonally not like just the tone of her character is just not within the realm of what the show was. I think she's very lighthearted, I guess, but
I
it
didn't
makes sense.
mind it, to be honest.
Just
I minded
different, I
a
think.
lot of other things in this episode, but not that.
Yeah, just different.
Yeah,
I think. But anyway, so she's trying to convince her to be her avatar, which I thought was interesting. I like how they have to convince the human to be the avatar. They can't just you can take over a dead body, but you have to convince someone that's alive to take you
yeah.
over.
And she wasn't fully convinced yet, though. Here,
No, she
it
wasn't.
was later,
Which
yeah.
which shows again, I feel like Layla's character development was really good throughout the whole show
Hmm.
because she was strong all the time pretty much, and she was the focused warrior still, even in the watching what Harrow's doing and taking out all these people, even still she was a badass. Like she's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to take this dude out with a knife. You know what I mean? And I don't need the help of an avatar.
Yeah, to
So
be
I
honest,
like that.
I would have loved her to not have become an avatar and just be badass with the stuff she already knew.
Yeah,
But I
but
know you liked her in the suit, so
yeah. Oh, the suit. Hey, guys, back me up when we get to the picture. It's one of my favorite. Like that entrance with that suit is amazing. Like that to me, that's a poster. Like when she flicks the wings out, man, so good. I have my reasons. Shut up, Anthony.
because reasons. Hashtag reasons.
Hashtag reasons. Give me a hot toy. Do it. But I thought, how did Harrow not know she's there? I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's unless he knew and just didn't care. I don't know. He just didn't seem to
Yeah.
care. But as we get to the next scene, this one is where I'm going to have a little bit of a rant. Now, y'all know I've been in love with everything they've done the entire way, but this moment was a bit upsetting for me. When they get they get to where they're going, and these bunch of gazelles come out. And if you don't know what gazelles means, it's my term of calling someone very just lackluster and weak. These guys come out and
Like a
do
baby
nothing.
gazelle.
Yeah, like a baby gazelle, a bunch of bloody gazelles. These guys are. Now, whilst, okay, do you mind if actually you go first because I'm going to rant on the
Yeah. So
gods.
first of all, like I said, in this series, every sentence has a meaning or a purpose. The script has really been meticulously crafted. So that's why I love this series. And when they enter the temple, Harrow says, "Look what the gods have hidden for humanity." So
Mm,
earlier, I thought because of the little girl, I thought that the
yeah,
space where the what do you call it, the jury was in at the moment
yeah,
wasn't actually on Earth. Because they needed a special portal, and the girl already
mm,
said that the Temple of Giza was empty. But now Harrow explained that it actually wasn't empty; the gods just hid it from humanity. So
mm-hmm,
that's the part I took from that. And
mm-hmm,
then yeah, this is one of the parts I think they rushed, because these
yeah,
avatars should have been cool, and they really didn't do
yeah,
anything. And they
yeah,
look, I think why they needed a lot more episodes to do this properly, because they didn't actually establish any power levels on the avatars, on the gods, and on Harrow. And that's
Yeah.
a bit annoying, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a letdown. Like, I'm just going to take it back to when Khonshu brought them forward for to bring Harrow in to question him because Khonshu was saying this guy's trying to release Amet, and
Yeah,
they had the trial essentially. I believed back then, at the end of that episode, when what's Osiris, this guy, the
yeah,
guy in the middle,
Cyrus.
Osiris, he brought Harrow in at the end to show that Khonshu had been turned into a what is it called again?
Shapti.
Sorry, a
Shapti.
Shakti. When he brought him in at the end, I'm like, oh, they're in cahoots. Otherwise, why would he bring someone in, right?
Yeah,
Um, but then this obviously proves that he wasn't in on it with him, and
yeah,
he's defending the thing, and he's all surprised now that Amit's been released. That upset me a little bit in the sense of if you go back to that episode now, it just makes that whole scene a little bit more ludicrous.
yeah,
That he, that Khonshu, one of their fellow gods, has brought this guy forward saying, hey, he's trying to do something that we don't want him to do. And they just brush it off. I
yeah,
would have understood a better plot point would have been that he's in cahoots with
yeah,
Khonshu, and that's why they dismissed it because he doesn't want to reveal his plan. But the fact
yeah. And I
that it turned out that they weren't, it just made that whole scene a little bit more disappointing for
Yeah,
me.
and I think you really had a great theory on that. I'm even trying to, now that we talk about it, maybe they even changed it. I don't know because
Mm,
first of all, you're right. It's weird to bring heroin after the fact, explaining things to him, bring him into the pyramid again if he's not in
mm,
cahoots with the Avatar of Cyrus. Also, the Avatar of
yeah.
Hathor takes Mark aside, and she whispers that Ahmed had a lot of followers, and
Mm,
she does it in secret, and she whispers even in the pyramid. So that would only make sense if Ahmed
mm,
also had followers in the avatars or in the pyramid. And the fact that the theory of yours isn't that it didn't do it that way,
mm,
um, it's weird. Like you said,
yeah.
because they were brushing off Khonshu, which is one of the gods, and that would be logical if Osiris,
Mm.
who was the head of the tribunal, said, "Ah, okay, I don't believe you," and just steered the tribunal away from
Yeah.
Khonshu. But to
Yeah, man.
yeah, it's weird.
It was weird. And then they end up doing nothing and all dying. Like
Yeah,
like that bit was a little bit, definitely agree, rushed.
yeah,
And it just that let me down that side of it. Because
yeah,
they didn't, not that they didn't fulfill the I'm not upset that they didn't fulfill my theory because again, I don't know anything. I was just guessing along the way. Just a feeling I got if you're watching it making sense that seemed strange. Maybe he's working with him because that would make sense
it would
for
make a lot more sense. Yeah,
what we just witnessed, and the fact that he wasn't is a little little strange. Moito, you need a full episode of Harrow wreaking havoc in Mark's Moon Knight's absence, enhance the stakes even more. That would have been
yeah,
cool.
yeah, and also establish a power level of Harrow because
Mm,
you need to get a feeling of how strong Harrow is, even without getting a suit. So you need to get a feel of his powers.
mm,
You need to get a feel of how much is needed to eventually stop him, and whether it's possible or not possible. And you could
yeah,
call that enhancing the stakes. Yeah,
hinting the stakes. You're right, Moito. Uh, Luke Scotty 92, what's up, brother? Harrow did say to them, "You're judges, not warriors. Just because the god's most powerful doesn't make the avatar stronger." Yeah, and
true,
that I'm
true.
okay with. That I'm okay with.
Yeah,
But the other two avatars we see both have suits that kick ass.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Mark and then Layla. And then Harrow even. Just by them being avatars, they automatically kick ass. Now,
Yeah, and it doesn't matter that they're not strong. It's more as a series, you need to establish how strong someone is. You need to a certain power level, and then it
mm,
makes more sense.
yeah, I know. I was more let down at the fact that he wasn't working with him, and that
Yeah, yeah.
they just were literally a bunch of gazelles who just got taken out instantly, straight up. that's
Yeah,
that's a saying I use in my life. So
yeah.
that's going to be on a t-shirt. Bunch of gazelles.
A
These
bunch of
guys,
gazelles.
bunch of bloody gazelles. Anyway, so they had their end. Fair enough. I'll move on from that. I'm over
Yeah,
that. Um, But then he releases Amit. Sorry about the poor picture. I actually was taking pictures off my TV screen this time. I think they
Oh,
turned
this
out
was
better.
fun, man.
Yeah, I think
Looks
they turned
okay.
out better. I thought she looked awesome though.
Yeah,
She looked
yeah,
looked. I think the look of the character was amazing. She was really good. And I loved Ethan Hawke's acting here. Even still, like he just put on a great performance.
yeah,
He really, you're right. Like I know you have a lot of thoughts on this, but he really believed that he was going to die. I feel like
yeah.
because his scales wouldn't weigh. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think they played that part well of him releasing her, and then it's like he was ready to be judged, and it's like he knew he was going into lay himself down to be judged and die, I guess, but he was
Yeah, it
willing to
was.
do it
I
to
mean,
release her.
look, this kind of shows that he really thought that he was doing the work to balance his skills again. That he's doing the work
Mm.
to become Amit's avatar,
Hmm.
and that he repented enough to be balanced once again. And then Amit says, "Yeah, this is not a problem. The imbalance is not in the here. It's in the servitude for me. Um,
Yeah,
so you're going to do a lot more stuff which isn't balanced, serving me."
yeah, which I thought was interesting because it just shows that she just changed. She like it's whatever she wants to do. It's not necessarily the balance of good and evil. It's her her decision
Yeah,
of what it's going to be.
yeah.
Cuervo, what's up, brother?
Yo,
Thanks for being here, mate. Oh, and we got Bob Dylan in the house.
yeah.
R.I.P.
Bob
Scotty.
Dylan. Bob, we need to teach Bob Dylan because Bob Dylan's been downright condescending on Scotty at the moment. So I'd love to make him a believer again.
Anthony's going to try and make you a believer, Bob. He's still holding on to hope. We'll see. You better be a good salesman, Anthony, at the end of this.
I'm going to be. Going to be.
Cuervo, love the show overall, as did we
Yeah,
all,
me too,
mate.
man.
I know I don't want to shroud the series in negativity with some of the nitpicks we have about this episode because I absolutely loved it. Still my favorite show,
Yeah,
but there were some
definitely.
things I think we need to talk about how they delivered the storyline at the end and wrapped it up, I guess. Oh, Bob, cheers, brother. Thanks for the super chat, mate. Scotty is as real as Wanda's kids and all. Hey, hashtag no spoilers.
No spoilers. No
No
spoilers.
spoilers, Bob. I appreciate the super chat, brother.
I think you got your numbers wrong. It needs to be 8 on that 6.
Anthony's he's been down and out since realizing it's possibly not Scotty, but we'll see. We'll see. He's coming back. But this whole scene, I guess, leading into the next scene, where he's doing this at the same time Layla is freeing Khonshu, which I thought was a cool little interaction of her, having that chat with him. And again, she still resisted becoming an avatar here, which I thought was cool. Again, showing how tough she is.
And what was weird here is because when we got the scene of Mark meeting Khonshu for the first time, he already said yes to serving Khonshu, I think, and that's when he saw the statue and Khonshu at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Here, Mark later didn't say yes to servitude, to any servitude, but she's still able to see Khonshu. So that's the part I didn't get. And I could get around it by thinking, well, they're inside the pyramid, so maybe that's why, but it's still weird for me.
Yeah, unless he can choose who he reveals himself to. Really, he could just do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like maybe, or maybe you don't need the statue to see him, and he just chose to reveal himself to Mark when he first came in. Yeah, I was okay with that. I liked how she turned him down because I thought for a split second that we might see her don the suit, and I was like,
me too.
that can't happen. Well, that can't happen. That can't happen.
But they already teased Tawaret, so I think, so I thought, yeah.
Yeah. But I skipped over the slide, but this is just after he, no, this is before he fights. He goes and fights because she's just released him, right? So he's going to go.
And now he's saying, "I can't do it alone."
Yeah.
She's saying, "Yeah, fuck you."
Yeah, basically.
He says, "Okay, I'll go. I'll go at it alone. I'll give it a try."
Yeah, straight up. But even still, I'm thinking, how does she think she's going to get all this done? Because at the minute, like to her, Mark is dead.
Yeah.
Mark and Steven are dead. So there was quite a bit of time showing us up until Mark comes back, and then we come back to the end of episode 5 where he's just chilling in the field of reeds. which I quite liked this moment. Like we made the decision that he wouldn't be able to rest without, um, trying to save Stephen, which I thought was really cool. And this
Yeah.
again, I think touches on Anthony. This in the next, not the next slide, but the one after. The whole meaning of the show, really, if we come back to the meaning of the show and what the cast and crew said the show was about was integration of self. I think this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
still following that plot point really well, right?
Yeah, it is, and this is actually the key to knowing that Scotty is alive, Bob. You want me to get into it now?
And
I
it
feel,
begins.
I feel like we need to do this later than now, but this is actually the key to understanding that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about I'll go to because there's not much else to say there, so I'll go to the next slide. Where are we? So whilst that's happening again, Khonshu comes to chat to Amit, and I love how these two look together. Like really liked their interaction,
Yeah.
and the discussion they had, because it's one of those tried and true discussions, right? Amit thinks that she's doing good, and Khonshu thinks he's doing good. It's like I was trying to relate it to something. If anyone in the chat can remember, like it's like that classic "I'm doing the right thing, I'm not a bad guy," and he's like, "No, you are a bad guy." Type scenario that we've seen with heroes in movies and things, which again, it's kind of like the Thanos thing. He thinks he's the good guy doing the hard work.
Yeah, this is a great shot because how I told you that when Harrow entered the pyramid for the first time, they see a lot of Shaktis or stone statues of other gods. This kind of looks different, but if you look at the flame to the right of it, you see a lot of statues, but it look a bit different than the statues that you saw at that time.
And they weren't honored like the other ones were honored, like in their special shelvings.
No, but before when Harrow entered, they weren't honored as well. They're just standing there in museum poses. But these look like mini Ushaptis as well, but then in black and white.
Yeah, good point. I didn't pick up on that. I did like how he, that you can see that they've had a relationship, obviously, which is good, and he's trying to talk her out of it, of doing what she's going to do. And I did like the line where she's trying to convince him to come over.
I need to go for a minute. Wait.
Yeah, too easy. I'll bring up the Lukagi. What's up, brother? Thanks for being here. And thank you for the super chat, mate. So really appreciate it. Just stop by to say hi. It's Mother's Day here, so you know how it is. I have to go show. I have a good show. Thanks, brother. Hashtag free Scotty. Keeping hope alive. Anthony will be super happy with that, mate. Keeping hope alive. And you're in EDZ. Wow, in New Zealand. Okay, yeah. So it's Mother's Day here too. So luckily it's 6 a.m. for me right now. So the fam is still asleep, and we'll be celebrating Mother's Day after this. So really appreciate the super chat, brother. Have a good day. Go spend time with your family. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being along for the ride too for the series as well. We'll have a little bit more at the end of the episode of where we're going to go next, with maybe what show we're going to do next and how the structure might change, because Moon Knight has been a particular structure that you could have these types of chats about what we think is happening with the story. I don't know how that will translate to another show, but we'll see how we go with that. But I guess to touch on this area again, like I was happy with these guys' interactions. The fact that she really believes as well, just much like Harrow, that they're doing the right thing, right? They believe that she believes that judging people before they do wrong is a better way than judging them after they've done wrong, which is taking away the freedom of choice, right? The freedom that a lot of us are lucky to have where we live, I guess. The freedom to make your own decisions and not be judged ahead of time. Again, though, they're not judging these thugs and mercenaries that are with them, which is still strange to me. They'll judge people. If that were the fact, if she was truly just judging people on good or bad, right? Don't you think that all these mercenaries with Harrow would get judged instantly? So that to me was a contradiction of why they're bad guys, I guess. It's like they're choosing who to judge. I don't know. What do you guys in the chat think about that? Because they're judging people left, right, and center. Is it because she's choosing not to judge these people, or she's given them some pass, I guess, to do the work, like she's given Harrow the pass to do the work? That could be the way they explain it, I guess. Now, I'm not sure about going too far forward without Anthony, because I don't want him to miss out. We'll give him another minute before we go. Well, so what you got, brother? I think it was more about removing people who wouldn't follow her. Yeah, good point. Good point. I think that's actually a great way to think about it. I didn't think about it like that, which makes her obviously a villain, which shows that she's a villain. I think that's fair enough. Which puts, I guess, a spanner in the works of how the gods work, right? It shows they've got their own interests at heart. But I guess Khonshu does as well, because he manipulates Mark the way he does, as we find out more throughout the show. It's more about them getting power and having influence over the world, I guess. So good point, Moitzo. Coming in with the win, brother. Appreciate it. Well, I don't know how long Anthony's going to be, so let's go to the next slide, because I'm sure he's going to have something to say about this. This scene I thought was pretty cool. Mark goes back in from the field of reeds. He goes to find Stephen, who funnily enough, happens to be right in front of the gates. Now, at first I thought, how is he right in front of the gates? But then I thought, well, it's the afterworld. It's more of, I guess anything could be anywhere at any time. So I kind of just dismissed that. It's more about him finding himself and coming to terms with himself before waking up and coming back to life, essentially. What did you guys think about that? Because I liked the moment. Did him being in front of the doors throw you out of it, or were you just like, okay, it's more of a metaphor of, it's not like a specific place and they're having to travel a certain distance to get to this door, although they were on the episode before that traveling to get there, right? What do you say, Mozo? This was the highlight of the episode for me, apart from the hippo. Woohoo. Yeah, that bit was cool too. Yeah, I loved it. And this, again, was more the integration of self, I thought, right? He's come back. He realizes he needs Stephen. He doesn't want to be without him. He's basically accepting the split personality part of himself, or the identity disorder part of himself. And he doesn't want to let go of Stephen, which I really like, because from here they interchange seamlessly. Renz loves the hippo part. Yeah, man, when we get to that, I loved that whole part of the show. It was amazing. Now, I don't know if Anthony had anything to say about this part of it, with the potential of Scotty still, but I really enjoyed it. Now, what I was thinking when he handed him the heart, or he put his hand and his heart, I guess, together, I think was that the final acceptance of self, and that's why they unfroze and were able to wake up. That's what I put it down to. I didn't think too much else about it from there, to be honest. But we might as well move forward. I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. And mind me trying to get this clip. I was trying to get an action shot. I agree. Maurizio says, I agree. He pretty much realizes that Stephen is much part of him at this point and he needs him. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we'll go back. Let's go back for a second. I think you're right, Maurizio. And I did enjoy that. It was almost like the culmination of their journey from when he got shot, and pretty much the start of the series of hiding. Starts off with Mark hiding from him, keeping him a secret, making him think he's just a normal person, to now them both accepting each other and understanding that they're going to be together. And I think Renz makes a good point here. It's not about judging the two hearts. It's about accepting themselves as together in one heart. Yeah. Boom. Renz with the mic drop. Yeah. Good point. And I really, really enjoyed that. It was almost like the touching moment right before they're about to go fight and kick some ass. They come together and accept each other, which was really cool. I really did enjoy that. For a second, I thought, how's he coming back to life? How does that bring him back to life? As they mentioned in the other episode, you're going to come back to life. But they did mention, in the other episode, you could come back to life, but you're going to come back to life in a dead body with still 2 bullet holes. So it was always about him accepting himself to have a chance to come back alive. And then the fact that Khonshu was there to bring him back, take the bullets out, heal him up, I guess is why he needed Khonshu at the end. But logically, I'm not sure how it works, considering we know who else is living in Mark and Stephen. Yeah, I think I put that down, Moitzo, to the fact that they don't know about him, and I think this journey was about him. Like, you only know what you know, right? There's lots of things about our bodies that we don't know, I guess, when it comes to like health and things, or things internally. Until you don't know until you know. It's like if someone has a lump or something, they don't know until they know, right? It's there in there sometimes. So I think it could be kind of like that, but just more in the personality side. Maybe, I don't know. I could be reaching. Either way, it served the purpose of the story. They've become one. I don't see them ever becoming one with Jake or Scotty, but we'll see. So we go from there to the fight. What did you guys think of this fight? Because I thought it was all right. It was a bit of back and forth. I'm assuming, like, again, because they don't really establish the power level of who's stronger. I kind of see them as equals in this fight. I would imagine them as equals in the fight. For me, it's one of the things I wrote off just because the scene was done so well. Yeah, it was more about continuing the journey of coming together, I think, which was more important. You're not going to get everything from everything. You're not going to get everything you potentially want to see in a show. There's only so much time and so much things they can do. So I was okay with it. He's back. I'll go back to.
I don't need
You're
to
right.
leave. That's good.
Awesome. I'll go back to the last slide that we're on. I was stalling a little bit, and the guys have been chatting with me, helping me, thankfully. But I wanted to see what your thoughts on this were, because we're just saying that Renz and Moitsu made some good points about them becoming, accepting each other as one heart, which is what helped unfreeze them and woke them up. Do you have thoughts on this part? This whole conversation?
Oh man, I miss so much now. Can we do the chats that I missed?
Yeah, so the last one we're at was this one where they were chatting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when he's trying to talk her out of it, talk Ahmed out of it, and then she's like, "Come to my side," right before they fight, and then it cuts to straight from there, right? Yeah, it cuts to this whole conversation of him finding Stephen, seeing how he's doing, and then slowly freezing up.
It's like Oscar Isaac said, it's integration of self, and rather than abandoning the part that he used to save him, actually, he's just bringing along for the ride, I think. So it's more integration than they could have hoped, and he's willing to trade for the peace that he sees in the Fields of Reeds.
Yeah, which I really thought was admirable. Like, he was there, he could have just chilled, but it would have weighed on him. And that shows you, I feel like that scene of him being in the Field of Reeds, being in paradise or whatever it may be, is just like in real life, right? When, let's say someone has all the money in the world, but they're not happy. You could be in the perfect place, but if you're unresolved in who you are and you're unresolved in how your happiness of your life, it doesn't matter. And I think that was a good depiction of that. Like, he could have been potentially happy, but it shows you just because you get to the destination doesn't mean,
to be honest,
you're going to be happy.
I would have, and I would have loved if this was an extra episode as well, that they were both frozen into sand, and then you see another reality where he has to resolve to get Stephen back or something. So,
that might have been too much.
I think so.
But the standard,
I would have loved that though.
Marvel audience, I think.
Yeah,
that would have been cool. That would have been cool. But I loved it anyway. And I was just talking about where you're going, like the fact that the door was there, but I think that was more of a metaphor, not a specific place. He's there.
No, the door was the gate of Osiris, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't that close to it when he fell off the boat. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't even.
If you remember, they were almost at the gates when Taweret says you need to leave the boat because you're not balanced. So that's where Stephen falls off, pretty near the gates.
Pretty near. For some reason, I just didn't think he was right in front of it. Yeah, or maybe I'm wrong. But Butch, what the heck, Butch?
Damn.
Thank you so much, brother. You are super kind, sir. Wow, that's so generous, bro. Thanks a lot, mate. And thanks for being here too, brother. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you stick with us for the next ventures we go on to with the rundown. that I'm going to bully Anthony into doing with me. We're gonna, at the end of this episode, we're going to bully Anthony that we're going to do more shows. Thanks a lot, Butch, brother. I really appreciate it, mate. You are an absolute legend. Everybody.
Yeah.
Let's go to this next part. They're battling. It's a pretty simple scene. If you want to chat about this, I'm going to upload the next slot of slides.
Yeah, they were battling. Khonshu knew that he couldn't do it alone. Still goes at it. I think they were kind of showing that with the Mr. Knight Khonshu thing, doing the night sky, to show that he actually needs an avatar to be able to do stuff. It would be cool if they had the time to delve more into what Khonshu can do alone or what he needs an avatar to do for. So that would have been cool, but I still like this.
Yeah, it was a cool battle.
Yeah.
It was a cool battle. I really enjoyed it. Okay, I've got a few more slides now. Now, this is where we start kicking into the action. Like, this is when the action starts kicking up. And I'm interested to see what everybody thinks about how they felt about the action. Because when I watched it the second time, I enjoyed the action a hell of a lot more. Watching the fight scenes. Apart from the nitpicks I had about particular things, I thought the action looked really cool. And they did it really well. Okay, so where are we? We'll go to this next one. So he realizes this is when Mark and Stephen come together. Mark wakes up, or I'm just going to call Mark and Stephen they wake up.
Yeah.
And you see the bullets drop out of the chest, which I think is cool. Khonshu senses straight away that he's alive, which I thought was really cool, and comes to again kind of sell him on. It's like he sells him on again. Hey, do you want are you going to be Moon Knight again? Do you think that's because he died that he has to ask him again?
I don't know, because he just had the suit straight away. So
right.
It's a bit weird that he's trying to sell him into a contract again when he still has the suit.
Yeah, well, I know, like, so in this scene when he's getting out, you hear Khonshu talking over Mark Spector, like, and I feel like that's him. That's possibly them selling him then, like, but then again, they have this conversation after. So I love this scene anyway, seeing him suit up.
Yeah. I just love the suit, man. Look at it.
Yeah, it's sick. It is sick. It's a very cool looking suit. But he powers up. I love that. That was cool to see. And then we go to the conversation out here, which I really enjoyed too, of Stephen taking. It's funny that Stephen took over. I thought.
Yeah.
He takes over the negotiation side of it all.
And I love it when I love it if there would have been like specific needs for certain personalities to come out. So Stephen is a smart one, so he's going to negotiate on a better deal with Khonshu than Mark would.
I still think Mark is smart though. Like, Stephen's smart, but he's smart about other things. I feel like Mark is more street smart, whereas Stephen's more book smart.
Yeah.
But I guess it's another reason to switch in between the characters. What do you guys in the chat think of that? The switching between to Stephen here to negotiate the deal. Maybe that's I guess them showing that he's more in tune. They're more in tune together, and he has more of a say.
Yeah, and for me, this was the first scene that I can remember that we see the suit in daylight. So then I thought, oh wait, up until now I thought the suit could only come out during the moonlight.
Oh, for Stephen and Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it is the first time we've seen it in daylight, actually, right? Damn, good point. Good spot. True that. But I really enjoyed this scene, and I still love how Khonshu talks down to him, like calls him Little Worm, and he's still just, bro. If you need him so bad, maybe be a little bit nicer to him. Just a little bit. Just be a little bit nicer.
Then comes the mid-credit scene. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need him that
bad. I guess. True. I guess if he wants him more. Then we go to I had to get this shot when he brings the knight in. Yeah, I was pretty happy with myself. Took me a few goes of pausing the TV screen on this one, guys. Luke Scotty, 92, Stephen Colin Khonshu, Sleep Bird almost had me in tears. Yeah,
man.
That was cool. I still love this. I still love Stephen's character. I love his portrayal of him. He is so just seems genuine. He's just very genuine. But I thought this was epic. And I'm like, oh wow, Mark, Moon Knight is always like a crescent moon, almost. He's never a full moon. But I love how that they showed that with the moon, and then it's a full moon for the last episode where he's at his most powerful,
Yeah, I
which
didn't
I thought
get
was
this
a nice
power
touch.
though. I didn't get what was happening here. I got that they were teleporting somehow, but
Yeah, it's like he was sending him there. I don't
I
think
would
he was
have.
like flying. I feel like he was more being sent there by Khonshu
Yeah,
almost.
I think it sort of harkens back to the power you see Khonshu use himself with the
Mm,
twirling around. But I would have
yeah,
liked more context of this power.
yeah. It was just him more so going, you forget I'm the whatever he says about the power of the sky, whatever power of the night.
Yeah,
And then
God
he
of the
shoots
Night
him off.
Sky. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess this bit was like, just shut up, guys. Just get to the action. That's kind of what it was like. We're going to go and fight. It's time to fight. Let's go. But whilst all this is happening, we then cut to Layla um, having the. I enjoyed this little interaction of her talking to
This is
Tawet.
cool. This is a cool shot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, I'm on fire, mate.
Yeah, yeah,
Watch
you
out.
are. Look at you go.
I'm the screen grab king now. It's taken me 6 episodes, but I finally figured it out. No more miniature slides on here, hopefully. There's some I got off the internet that are
Yeah.
probably smaller. But I really enjoyed this moment of her accepting her as the avatar, I guess. And she even mentions, this now I've got a cool suit in mind. So
Yeah.
that the avatar can choose the suit, except for
Except for
She
Harrow.
doesn't. Except for Harrow, yeah, he doesn't get a suit.
Yeah, I would have loved
Um,
that avatars don't usually get a suit. Because it would explain why Harrow didn't get a suit, and it would connect Black Panther better. Because Bast is
mm,
like the sister of Khonshu. Black Panther is like the avatar of Bast. And they don't get a suit. They have to design a
yeah,
suit. So it
yeah.
would have been cool to have more context in, and I would have loved later to be like this in this form as the avatar, not a suit, just angry eyes.
Well, whilst you say that, I'm just going to leave this here.
Hold my beer. John
Hold
is
my
saying,
beer.
"Hold my beer."
Because everybody
my
in the chat,
bevy.
come on, hold my bevy. This suit I think is epic, man. It's an epic suit.
Yeah,
Like
true.
it's such a cool look. Like those wings with the blades on it. She's holding the bloody blades.
Yeah,
She's got shoulders, bro. She's jacked.
yeah,
She must have been training for this. She is
true.
freaking jacked. I loved it. Me and Lani, we loved this part. Like this was one of my favorite parts of the show. Seeing her power up, become the red scarab, I think it is, with the scarab on her chest as part of the suit, and the fact that Tawet says that your father would be so happy, which is more story to be told. So that's another tether that they've left there.
Yeah.
We're going to see more of her journey. Finding out more about her father. Like there's still so much unresolved from this episode. There's all the backstory with her father and Mark that's unresolved. Really, they still haven't properly talked about it. It's kind of like her origin. This shows her origin story as well. When you think about it, her origin story of becoming a superhero. She becomes the first Egyptian superhero, mind you. When I saw this scene, I already knew what you guys were thinking. Straight up, Rans. I'm like, my second thought was, give me a hot toy. My second was, give me a hot toy.
No, that's the first thought Renus was thinking about, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just being cheeky.
Oh, you missed Bob Dylan's first one.
Oh, did I? Well, sorry, Bob. Man, I'm getting blind. I'll probably get this figure before my gold number Wonder Woman. Still waiting on that, bro. Still waiting on gold number. Damn.
Those swords were awesome.
Those swords were sick. Although I do want to see Iron Logan poster against Golden Gal. I think they'd go epic together with the wings, man. They would go awesome together. Yeah. I hope Hot Toys makes this. I don't know if they will.
Do you think?
But man, I wish they would. I don't think they will.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. I don't know if they have enough time. They've got so much stuff to make. I feel like this is going to be one of those ones that they don't. But the design, it's such a great opportunity for them to, I think. It'd be a great opportunity to test trying to make that hair, because that hair would be difficult, I would imagine, unless they sculpt it. And the wings. I feel like Look, she's even got things over her elbows, so you could have it as it wouldn't have to be
Seamless. Yeah.
seamless, and you'd
Yeah.
be able to pose it. So I think that would be a great opportunity. I feel like they need to represent strong women characters, and also she's the first Egyptian superhero that we see. Come on, guys, give her a
Yeah.
costume.
Yeah. I don't like an agenda of having
I
extra
know, but it would
female.
be like I feel like she deserves it, don't you think? Like I think let's look at it this way: a Tuscan Raider. They made Tuscan Raiders, bro. You know what I mean?
True. True. True.
She's more of an important character to this series. They brought back the KS2 drones from Book of Boba, and they were in it a split second, mate. I think
Yeah. They
she's
made
earned
they made
she's
Venomized
earned a figure.
Groot. So
Yeah, they made Venomized Groot. I think she's earned a freaking figure.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, come on, come on. Scarlet's
Okay.
costume is
Okay.
sick on
Okay.
Layla.
Okay. Okay.
Luke Scotty, yeah, bro. That costume is sick.
Those blades are
Um,
sick.
those blades are sick. And she kicks ass in this in the fight scene. She kicks ass. She almost kicks more ass than Moon Knight.
Dude, I need an Oscar Isaac apocalypse to give her this suit. She's like Archangel. I love
Yeah.
the Archangel apocalypse suit.
Yeah. Anything with wings, man. Because you
Wings and
already know
blades.
she can fly.
Wings and blades.
Yeah, wings and blades, man. She can fly, bro. She's ass kicker. Windcat fight, right? That would be
Wow.
epic. Man, having her posed up next to Moon Knight, think about it. In your display, her and Moon Knight together would look sick. Anyway, I'm just going to leave this slide up there for the rest of the episode and make everybody look at it to the end.
But you know, that's what I mean with power levels. We haven't established how strong Hera would be as an avatar. So it kind of sucked for me that Moon Knight, who should be like the strong superhero, that he actually needed a second avatar to defeat Hera. Unless he would have been wounded, like he only had one arm left, or he hasn't been in his Bacta tank yet again. So and then it would have been understandable to need a second
Yeah.
one, but to need two avatars to beat a hero without a suit, that was a bit much for me.
Yeah, and I think I've got a theory on that. I'll touch on that, but I'll address.
Yeah, I think Mocho has
Muto's.
the same critique on that.
And I think this would have been more impactful had we got an extra episode with Hera wreaking havoc and Layla witnessing it. Would have had a stronger reason of accepting her being an avatar. Yeah, it was because that's where the rushed part comes in, right? I feel like they were rushing in at the end to get everything in. For sure, completely agree with it. So. Bob, rooted hair would be brave. Yeah, I think if they got it right, though, it'd be sick.
Sculpted would also be brave, though.
Sculpted rolls, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it'd be too scary for him to try, but I think it would be. If they got it right, I think it'd be such an epic figure. And the color scheme, I love the color of the wings.
Yeah.
And the suit, like the gold and the white. I just think I love the Egyptian like the colors that they have like that. I just think it looks awesome. We'll go to the next stream reluctantly. Then we have the next scene.
We'll leave your love interest for now.
We'll go to the next scene where Harrow's obviously all his avatar or all his people now can judge people, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
One little plot point I think they missed here was when he realized that Layla was in there, and he tells. I think it was one of the police officers that were with him that someone's here, go find them. The next time we see her, she's out in the streets judging people. So did she just stop looking? Where did she go? Like she went, he tells her to go look, and then all of a sudden she's out in the street judging people. I think that was a mistake. A mistake there, but I'll let it go. I'll let it slide.
It's twins.
Yeah. And this is where it went Power Rangers for me. I thought it looked cool though. It looked freaking cool. It was a cool fight.
It did went kind of Power Ranger ish, and because it's like a big kaiju battle. But the part that I don't get is why
Crocodile versus Kong Shu.
yeah, and because how did Ahmed became like a kaiju level because she's eating all those souls, right? And she was beating Khonshu even before she ate all the souls. So how does Khonshu get to be on the almost same level as Ahmed after eating all those
Mm.
souls?
I would think that it's a full moon, maybe.
I don't
That's
know.
my
It's
justification.
maybe
Or
because
the
Mark
fact
is
that
back, but
maybe because it's a full moon and Mark is back. Or maybe she's just getting bigger because they can get bigger anyway. And she's just
mm,
getting bigger so she could eat more souls, maybe. More are
yeah,
coming in.
but
She
then
needs to be
why
bigger
is
to take
Khonshu
more.
at the same level?
Oh, that's what I mean. Like maybe they can make themselves bigger. So she's maybe just making herself bigger to take on more souls. You know what I mean? And so he can just make himself bigger
Oh
too.
yeah,
Maybe he
because
doesn't.
for me, it made sense that she grew bigger because of all the souls.
Yeah, yeah. I think it might have been the other way around. For me, I took it as the other way around. She was just getting bigger.
Grow, my lovelies, grow. Yeah.
Nice. Then we got Mega Croc versus Giant Bird. Yeah,
Giant
the
silly
Croc
bird.
would Giant Silly Bird for sure. Do people in Kairos see the gods fighting, or are they just seeing the purple souls floating? I think they just see the purple souls.
Yeah, I
If
think
we're
so.
going off how the rest of the show was, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read too much into them getting bigger. I just assumed that they're gods; they can get bigger if they want to. I just took her getting bigger because she was taking in lots of souls and maybe wanted a bigger mouth to take them in. I don't know. I didn't think too much into it, to be honest. Calling the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh man. But I enjoyed the fight scene, so I'll go to the next stream because the next picture because it's more of the fighting. I thought it looked epic the way they did it. I thought it looked great with the city in the background.
Yeah.
It was very back and forth. It was a very back and forth fight.
Yeah, but then I'm thinking, why all the souls though?
Yeah, why does she want them? I guess maybe. Yeah, I mean, good point. They don't explain it. They don't explain why she wants
No,
all the
you
souls.
think that she'd grow extremely strong. So if they established that she was weak right after resurrection, and then she grew stronger because of the souls, that would have made a lot more sense for me.
Yeah. And the fact that they didn't explain that—that's
Yeah.
where the rush part comes in. Hey,
Yeah.
like we feel like it was rushed. I need to add more slides in a sec, so I'll hand it over to you in a sec, mate. I'll go to the next clip though, which is laughing his ass off. Find him, save him, Martha.
Martha.
No,
That's a kryptonite
No.
spear, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a kryptonite spear. This scene though, I thought was sick. I'll let you take it away while I add some more slides.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me again. I would have loved Harrow to show how strong he has gotten after he became an actual avatar, or
Mhm,
so either give him a suit, give him a haircut
mhm.
and colored eyes, or show off the power of the staff in a better way or something. Because now we get Moon Knight, who's supposed to be super strong, face
Mhm.
off against a regular guy, it seems, with a walking
Yeah,
stick.
yeah. I think we established though, right, that his walking stick
It's a walking
gave him
stick.
powers.
Yeah, yeah.
His staff or whatever it is gave him powers. About your big mouth moment comment. Damn my dirty
Damn.
mind. I love the scene though. It looks sick with the moon in the background and the fact that they battle. He even loses the staff here
Oh
by the
yeah, it's
looks
a
of it.
full moon.
Yeah, full moon, bro.
Yeah.
Tom saying, I love the finale in the series. I think Oscar will be back having a great time in the stream. Great job, guys. Hope you guys do more like this. I appreciate it, Tom.
Thanks,
Yeah, well,
man.
look,
Thanks,
that's the
man.
plan. We just got to bully Anthony.
And thanks for
And
being
then
here.
we'll be, yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm just
And I
going to add a
definitely
couple
think
more
he'll be back.
slides.
He's done
Oh,
too
yeah.
much of a good job to not be back.
Yeah, they've set up too much. Put it this way: why would you set up this much to leave so
Yeah.
much unresolved to not finish it?
Yeah.
Is my thoughts.
Why would you set up Scotty and not have a second season?
Yeah, yeah. I think anybody who's worrying about them not doing any more, I wouldn't worry. They're definitely going to do more.
This is just one big
it's
cliffhanger, to be honest.
yeah, it's Marvel. They're going to do more.
Yeah.
They've already thought about this. You know what I mean? Like they would have already planned all this stuff out. They're 10 steps ahead of us when it comes to what they're going to do. And they've already explained that this next phase is going to be touching on supernatural and cosmic, right? So we're in for it. I actually had 29 slides, so I tell a lie.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I deleted a ton of them. So we'll go to the next one. It's more of another fight one because a lot of these are fighting ones. I thought we'd get through it till we get to the end. I thought this was a cool scene. This was really cool. So this whole fight, what were your thoughts about this whole fight?
So this is where Stephen is telling Layla, "I can't wait to show you our new power set, skill set." Right?
Yes, yes. I do have a clip from
Um,
that next.
Look, like I said, I think we hit on that in earlier episodes that the last fight they'll be switching in and out,
Yeah,
and it'll all have a certain purpose. I would have loved it if they showed more of a differentiation between the purposes of the two characters, like the Mister Knight and
yeah,
the Moon Knight suit. So, and now that Mister Knight can also fight, um, it's less obvious when Mark needs to come out or the Moon Knight needs to come out. So
yeah.
I would have loved the Moon Knight suit to be there as a fighting suit, and the Mister Knight suit to outwit people. And
Mm,
they might have done this by chucking the Billy Club, and then Moon Knight catching it and finishing the guy off. But
mm,
it was a cool scene overall. But I would have liked more purpose in each suit.
yeah. Yeah, it kind of blurred the lines, right? Because if
Yeah,
Steven can fight and Mark can fight, why do they need each other?
yeah,
In
yeah.
to a degree, it's almost like the Moon Knight should be the fighting suit.
Yeah, and I love
Um,
that the line blurred between the two personalities themselves on the boat. Like
mm,
Stephen can handle himself, and Mark also needs help. Blah blah. I love that
yeah,
part. But for the suits, I would have loved if they didn't blur that much.
yeah, true. Where are we? Oh, what am I missing? Hang on.
Look,
Oh,
Bob Dylan
Bob.
is making fun of Scotty again, but we'll get him to believe again.
Where are we? Bob, thanks for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it, mate. I got a jet, fellas, but I wanted to make a small contribution to the cause. If anyone has any info, please call 1-800 find
I'm
Scotty.
Scotty.
Anthony needs closure.
He's already found. Scotty's been found. You just need to look better, man.
Oh, Bob, you're gonna miss out on Anthony's what's the word, thesis that he's written to close out the show.
And to be honest, it's not even that far on ledge. I think it's pretty obvious, to be honest. But thanks for being here, Bob. And you
Yeah,
need to
thanks,
catch
Bob.
this one on the replay.
Yeah, watch the end of the replay because Anthony has some good points, and I actually have a point too. I think that there might still be hope out there. But thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you, mate, and thanks again for the super chat. You're an absolute legend. And thanks for the slide info you sent me last week too on that slide, the camera slide. I'm definitely going to get one. And Ren's saying goodbye, Bob. Awesome. So we'll go to the next. We'll go to the next one. Just another one from the fight. I did like how, like, I remember seeing clips of Oscar Isaac training, and I feel like it was for this fight scene,
Oh,
which
I
makes
didn't
me
see
think
it.
it's actually him. Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
clips of him training online, and I feel like it was for this actual scene where he's kicking butt. I
I
thought
would
it was
love it
actually pretty cool.
if they would confirm that it's actually him doing the fighting, because
Mm,
that's the part I didn't quite like on Mandalorian.
yeah.
Pedro Pascal isn't actually fighting, or shooting,
Yes.
or walking.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I
You're
would
pretty
love
much
it,
doing anything.
and I think he can. To be honest, he's quite physical.
Yeah. Well, I definitely saw. I definitely feel like this is Oscar Isaac because
Cool.
for me, if not, it looked like the video. I don't know if anybody in the chat has seen it, but there's a video of him training doing hand-to-hand combat just like
Oh,
this
I need to
scene
see it. Yeah.
online, and he looked good doing it. Like, he looked like he'd been practicing it really well.
Cool.
And so I like this whole fight scene. I really enjoyed it. This is the part where I just stepped out of my own head of expectations and just enjoyed the action.
Yeah.
Which will lead me to this next picture when they were both fighting Harrow, and then Layla comes, like when they're both fighting Harrow and he has the staff. So what I took from this, right? I know everything you said about them. Why did it take two of them? If you take that part out of it,
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing him and Layla work together, and that
Yeah.
was a moment I feel like was worth maybe a decision they made of just showing them fighting together,
Yeah.
as superheroes, you know, as partners, because I feel like in the future we're going to see more of them together. I feel like it was a good thing of them doing that as opposed to Moon Knight being weak and needing her help. I'm
To
just
be
looking at it
honest,
from the other side
yeah. To
of
be
them.
honest, I would rather have Layla have her own series. To be honest, than them
Yeah.
being together as two superheroes.
Mm.
I think they could
Maybe
delve
in the
more
future.
into the Egyptian heritage more.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
And what do you think happened? Because I kind of skipped over it because I thought, well, I'll just go, I'll just go along for the ride. What did you think
Yeah.
happened with the club being thrown and then Moon Knight picking it up or catching it? Did he like teleport to that location or something?
Um, Shivers. I need to watch that again. I felt like, yeah, I need to check that again.
Because
Who threw the
it's like
club?
it's Steven threw the club because he has two, and
Yeah.
he threw one. It gets deflected, but the one that gets deflected gets caught by Moon Knight.
Oh shit. So maybe he teleported. Yeah, I need to
I
see
don't
that
know.
again.
I don't know.
Yeah, I need to see that again. Now you've got me questioning it. Um, Either way, it was freaking cool. I
Yeah,
really did enjoy the action. I did enjoy the
yeah.
fighting them together. I really did. I thought it
True.
was great. And a reason why I brought this clip up is because again, I know I've harped on about it, but I really like
Layla.
the moment. No, so the moment where she saved the thing, and the little girl's like, "Are you a superhero?" And she says it in is
Yeah,
Egyptian, right? She says it in that. And she's like, "I am." I just thought that was really cool. And
yeah,
for all
yeah.
the Egyptian people out there who hadn't seen a superhero yet depicted,
True, true.
I just feel like that was a really cool moment. And for my wife Lani and I, like we both loved it. And my daughter even said, she goes, "Oh, she's my favorite. I love her." And I'm like, that's the stuff that I like. Like
Yeah, true, true.
I love that they do that. I know it can be cheesy, but I really enjoyed that. I thought it was great. Anyway, cool scene. She got to have a hero moment saving people. What I didn't like, before I say that, is Renz, maybe just to show Mark and Steven are working together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
could be that.
But it would have been cool to
Could be
do it
that.
in a bit of another way for me, at least.
Yeah. This bit, if you think about it, like they fought well, and I feel like the choice they've made is obviously the choice they've made to bring in that third personality, and that's more of a cliffhanger that they're going to show down the line.
Yeah,
But really, in this battle, Moon Knight wasn't that strong.
yeah,
Really, he just wasn't that strong. And the fact he's
yeah.
getting his ass kicked by Harrow, which means this staff must be super powerful, right? Or maybe he's getting stronger because of the souls that Amit's taking in. Amit's taking in souls makes Harrow stronger, maybe, and that's
That
why
would have
his
been
power.
cool. That would
But
have
they didn't
really
explain
been
it.
cool. Yeah, that would have really been cool. But that's what I said. Yeah, you need to be. It needs to be more comprehensive how Harrow's powers work and
Mm,
how high his power level is. Um,
yeah,
what I did like is that they had the big kaiju fight in the background of Khonshu and Amit, and I
yeah,
think at the same time that Harrow was doing this, Amit was doing the same thing to Khonshu. I think
yeah, yes,
so. I
yeah.
like
Amit
that part.
was dragging Khonshu away, and I love that scene of seeing Harrow walk up to him, and you see him in the background. I
Yeah,
did take a picture of that, but I skipped it for sake of
yeah,
slides.
that as well. So,
Yeah,
if we had established that Harrow was like more experienced than Mark at being an avatar and just stronger because Amit has sucked all the souls, I would have been
mhm,
fine with this and with Layla being a superhero or needing to be a superhero or needing to be an
yeah,
avatar. But the fact that I didn't show it, it felt really rushed. That was
mm,
I didn't
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and I think, do you think that's maybe a decision they made in sake of time more so over just missing it? Because I doubt they would have missed it. I feel like it was more of
No,
a big
I
or
think it was just time. Maybe they were even hoping that they would get extra episodes, but
mm,
they were denied extra episodes. So they all put it in 6, and they just refused to make concessions to 1 to 5 because that, like I said, there's literally no fat on episode 1 to 5, so they couldn't scrap anything.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I can, when we think about it, I can buy into the fact that he's strong, maybe just because he's been an avatar before, and he has all that experience. Maybe I don't know, but I feel like
Yeah,
they
but
did it more so to show that the third personality is, or the Jake Lockley is that
yeah,
savage.
so they needed to show Layla and Jake, I think.
Yeah. But the next picture, it's when he blacks out, just like he did in the van, which
Yeah,
makes me think that back in the van in episode 1, that was Jake that came in every
yeah.
life and
So
death situation.
yeah. So shout out to Rens for the uncontrollably shaking
Yeah,
transitions because that was a good call.
that was a great call, Renz.
Yeah,
And Witzer saying this moment may have actually been an ideal time for Lad to accept being an
yeah.
avatar. See, yeah,
That would have made
that's
more
true.
sense.
Yeah. But see, remember when she did accept it though, the place was crumbling around her. So if I'm thinking I'm going to get crushed by rocks, I probably want some
True.
help of a god too. So
You'll accept
think
it.
about it like that.
Dude,
Yeah.
who are we kidding? We would have accepted it. Do you want to be? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And plus,
Give me a hippo
she's
suit.
thinking she's just realized that Khonshu's gone to get Mark at that
Yeah.
point. Oh, no, has she? No, she doesn't. She still thinks Mark is dead because she was on her own then.
Oh yeah.
Khonshu
Yeah.
left her to go fight Amit,
Yeah.
and then the place starts falling down. I think that's when she made the choice of taking over Talbot. So I'm okay with that.
Temporary avatar.
Yeah, temporary avatar, which won't be because why would you want to give up that suit? That was sick.
Yeah.
But for this scene, I get why they did it because they wanted to show that again they're still holding out, showing us the third personality.
Yeah.
We have a friend that we know is going to be super pissed about that that we didn't get to see him kick ass. As I think, were you guys pissed that we didn't get to see him kick that ass? I'd like to know. Are you guys upset that we didn't see him flip out and destroy everybody? Because I know
And
that's what people want to see.
what the suit looked like, because Layla didn't ask who was that. She asked what was that. So that suit's going to be badass, man.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be all black, to be honest, or gray.
Yeah, black or grey. Yeah, I think it's going to look cool. And the black will symbolize, how dark of a character he is, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, he obviously kicked everyone's ass. They take him to the tomb, so they obviously take him to the tomb. They've put him into. They've trapped Amit in his body, and then Khonshu comes and tries to get him to kill him. Obviously, that's where they make a stand.
Yeah.
What's Mutsu saying here? Well, in the context of the show, it made sense not to show it. Yeah,
And that's a cliffhanger for season 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cliffhanger. Whether it be a season 2 or a film. Yeah, I know they've submitted it as a limited series for the Emmys, but I think that can change.
Yeah.
It can change. You can change your mind and change.
I think
that
I just
later.
didn't know how good this would do, and
yeah,
I think there'll be series 2.
Yeah, straight up. I think they will. But after this clip is pretty much the last ending of the show that I've got the clips for here. But what did you think about this moment, where he decides not to kill him? I was okay with that. I was okay that he's... The only thing I was a little unsure of was how do they know what chant to do? Do you know that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Tawara told Layla how to do it. But the avatar of Osiris said we need more avatars than are left to do the chant. So but I think they were doing it with just the 2 of them.
They were, yeah.
Weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe I don't know. Yeah, that's strange.
Maybe the personalities count.
Maybe. Maybe. But then
so then it would have been the 5 of them if the personalities count.
Yeah. And Mark, this is a good spot to see Mark. He is a good guy. He's not a killer, which reminds us that Jake is the actual killer.
Yeah.
2 is more than 1. True that. Good call. And then we come to here, which I thought I didn't expect it to flash back to here.
Yeah.
What did you make of this? This is where some mind games starts. What did you think of this? We've fought all this way to get
So first, I was going with the fact that this is the organizing principle, just like Harrow explained, with unconscious mind explaining things to the conscious mind, and the conscious mind is now integrated. So Mark and Steven are integrated. But then you see Harrow bleeding and him really actually being surprised by it. So now I'm kind of thinking maybe this is like a construct that Khonshu put inside the mind of Mark, just as a fail-safe device. Just to, if he gets too stubborn or too out of line, to say, you know what? It's still just imagination. Because remember when they wake up, they're inside their bed again and they're chained to the bed again. So one of the personalities had to be the one to chain them up again, even though they all know the truth by now, and the cat's out of the bag, so to speak.
Yeah.
But someone's still trying to say that it's not actually reality. So
Yeah.
that's the most sense would make that it's Jake doing that,
Hmm.
and that Khonshu told him to do it. So maybe this is just
Yeah.
a construct put in Mark's head as a failsafe.
Because it's him figuring out that it's not real.
Yeah,
Like he's
and
figuring out,
there's
oh,
just
hang
too
on, it's
much
not real.
proof that it is real. Hence the bleeding.
Yeah, there's too much proof to ignore now, you know. And
Yeah.
if you chalk up everything that we've found out about this room throughout the show, I thought it was a nice little nod. I didn't expect it, but it was a nice little nod to
Yeah.
him figuring out. Which brings me to this one.
Oh wait, before
Which,
this one,
oh yes,
what did you make of the sentence? Even though it's very tempting to accept your diagnosis, doc, what did you make of the accent? Because I think it was Renz who first
yes,
was hinting on the accent, on the third accent,
yes.
when Mark arrived in Egypt and Layla found him. What you doing here? I think that was
Hmm.
the first time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Renz. But
Yeah, I
we've
think that's
heard
right.
that accent throughout the series a bit, and I think they've done it with Harrow before when he's saying that he's feeling fine.
Mhm.
Um,
With the
the,
busted up nose,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
that part.
yeah.
And I think he's done the accent. He's doing Stephen, Mark, and the third personality, which isn't Jake.
And
So I think
and
he's
who
doing
do you
Scotty.
think it is?
But I'll go into that more of why I think that is.
Yeah,
So we need the
you're
mid
right.
credit scene first.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that accent, the different accent, and
Yeah,
you know, there's nothing that says that he just has to have three. There's
yeah,
nothing that says that, and
yeah,
they've definitely hinted at having multiple with this other one because the busted. I still think back to the hospital scene, the busted up nose where he's talking with that accent again. It is
yeah,
clearly
yeah.
different than Mark, and that to me that's not a acting mistake. That's
No, I
not an
think
accent. It's too
the
good
whole
to be a
script
mistake.
is too meticulous to call it an acting mistake. And look, I always think back to episode one, the scene with the puddle and the leaf falling into the puddle.
Mhm.
It's the series telling you that you might think you know that you're that you know where to look for and what to look for, but
Yeah,
you're still not looking at reality. So
yeah,
for people that don't know that scene anymore, it's in episode one, and it shows Mark at the fountain with Crawley and the
yeah,
reflection of it. But the thing
yeah,
that's actually that you think you need to look at is actually not reality and not the reflection, because after that the leaf falls into the puddle and it shows that it's actually not reality. So it's the series saying you might know what you're looking at, but you don't. And
yeah,
I think it's the same thing here, where it's not three personalities, but it's four actually, or at least four.
at least, yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely agree because the accent is different,
yeah.
and you can detect a difference in it. And I think that's more like it, they've definitely shown that they're willing to leave lots open ended. They've left a
Oh
lot
yeah.
open ended for
Oh,
future stuff. So
Rents corrected me. Yeah, it's when he's in the street asking where Senfu's sarcophagus is. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and
straight up.
that's I think it's yeah, it's the same thing when Layla meets him, right?
Yes, yeah, just after that, yeah,
Yeah,
quite
what you
literally.
doing here?
Yeah, what
What
you
you
doing
doing
here?
here?
What you doing here? Yeah, and then he does it again here, like when he does say the diagnosis, and he also says it when he's got the busted up nose, and he's like, "I'm all
Yeah,
good, I'm good, I'm just going to get out of here." So
yeah.
we've definitely seen a different accent. Whether that means Jake is bilingual, they haven't hinted at that
No,
because
they haven't.
if let's think about it this way,
Well, maybe
every
we'll
other
do
time we see
the
Jake,
mid credit scene first to do
yeah,
Jake,
oh
or
yeah. Okay. Right. Well, let's go. We've got the fish tank. I just put this one in there because I thought it's cool. There's the two fish now. That shows that Stephen and Mark have been back. And maybe they changed themselves up to the bed, Anthony, because they know that there's another one in there who killed all these people. Because they're both every time that happened, he's like, that wasn't me. I blacked
yeah,
out.
maybe,
Maybe they've changed
yeah.
themselves to the bed to trying to figure out who's this third person and when are they coming out.
Could you see whether or not one of those fish is Gus?
I couldn't tell. No, I couldn't tell.
Because it kind of looked like the one the lower one only had one large fin and one smaller fin, but I didn't know.
Maybe, yeah.
But
maybe.
it was a cool callback to
Yeah.
two
Yeah, I
personalities.
love the boat in here. I love the pyramid and all the little Egyptian symbols that
Yeah,
were in
yeah,
throughout the show was just another cool thing. And it just relates back to the first episode again, where you see
yeah.
it's literally, you know, you see the Egyptian, and they probably would have filmed that all at the same time too, the first episode and the end. You know, if you're thinking about how they set up filming schedules, this would have all
Yeah.
been pre-filmed and planned back at the same time, which I find interesting. But yeah, I think it could be that they know that there's someone else in there who's a savage, and that's maybe why they've changed themselves up. But
Yeah,
again,
maybe.
who knows? Who knows? Then we come to Khonshu. I skipped the slide of him taking him out of the mental
Yeah,
institution.
which is
So
an
we,
important part because we see the driver who is Jake, and he's
yes,
speaking Spanish to a nurse who is clearly not speaking Spanish.
yes,
So
earrings.
then we see that the guy who now is Jake is
Hmm.
speaking Spanish.
Mm. Yes. Yeah, but you're right, Renz. The aquarium sums up the whole season from the goldfish to the boat, and it was there since episode 1.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is pretty cool. Which is pretty damn cool. Yeah, and he does it. He does again another good job of looking different.
yeah, yeah.
Just simple facial changes. I thought played it well. But okay, this is where we're going to delve into what the heck is going on with Jake and why he's speaking Spanish and appears to only be speaking Spanish. Because if he was bilingual, maybe he would have spoken, English to
It
the
doesn't make
person.
that doesn't even make sense to be bilingual and then speak Spanish to two people who only speak English because he speaks Spanish to Harrow and he speaks Spanish to the English speaking nurse.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. What's Luke
Wait,
saying? The director confirmed that that was Mark on the street and with the busted nose in Harrow's office on Twitter and Khonshu looking like a pimp. Really?
don't you
The
look like
director
a pimp
confirmed.
there?
Hey, Khonshu's a pimp here. Look, pimped out. He's suited up, bro.
Oh, there,
Look,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, pimped up.
Looking like
Taking a. He is
yeah.
pimping
This
there.
was
He's pimping
this
the back of
this,
the line.
this part was funny because if you look at the limo, the white limo,
Mm,
it also said Spectre. So
there you go.
then
That's the last tip I
so
got.
then I noticed we've never seen how Mark lives, to be honest. We only seen Steven's
Yeah,
housing.
and this would make me think he's rich
Very, very so,
because that's
very much
that's an
so. Yeah,
expensive car. That's an expensive
yeah.
car, and
And
if
why
he's
does
a yeah,
yeah?
white. Yeah, true. And if he's a globe-trotting mercenary, one, how's he got that money? And two, why are you putting your name on the back of the car, bro?
Because you
When you
just
want to be,
that rich.
you're just balling that much that you want to
Yeah,
put your name on the back of the car. I think
yeah.
you'd want to be incognito. Yeah, that was interesting. That's why I
And
took
it doesn't
that bit.
seem like he knows. So when you look at this scene,
Mm,
it seems indeed like Mark is actually a billionaire, but he doesn't know he is. And when you
yeah.
go back to Harrow's office, Harrow says, "Oh, Stephen, I didn't think after the first time that we see you back again." And Stephen
Mm,
hasn't been there, so there's a personality who's imitating Stephen and who's
yeah.
imitating Mark, I think.
Yeah. What do you guys in the chat think? See, Luke, you've thrown me through a loop now, Luke, with the director confirmed that Mark was on the street with the busted nose in Harrow's office. That doesn't make sense to me.
Nah,
The accent is a bit different. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but
especially
yeah, that.
when he says, "I feel great now." Um, when
Mm,
Harrow mentions the little kid and he says, "Tell me more about the kid," um,
mm,
um, either then or before that, he's flipped, which makes sense. If we
yeah.
go, I don't know when we're going to do the fourth personality thing.
And we might as well get into it now because that was the
Okay,
last slide.
okay. Look,
Yeah, let's get into it. And we'll
so like I said, the brilliant part of this is not the Marvel movie part of the series. That's not why I love this. I love this because of the big
Mhm,
puzzle it brings. And granted, WandaVision did it a bit also. Loki
mhm,
did it a bit also. But
mhm.
this series has been very good in giving us pieces of the puzzle every time. So they actually given us enough pieces of the puzzle to solve it, but then give us a piece of the puzzle which sets us on the wrong foot every time.
Yeah.
And they tell you in advance that they will. Hence the scene with the puddle.
Yes.
So they've hinted at the third personality, and everyone thinks the third one is Jake. And I think the third one who has been massacring people, it's probably been
Yeah.
Jake, because Jake has been depicted as being super violent, but he also has been depicted as only speaking Spanish.
Mm.
And when you go back to Tawret, do you have the frame still
Uh,
with Fields of Reed?
I can find it. Hang on. Let me find it. I'll just remove this one. I can definitely get it. Hang on. I think it's number 9. Let's see. Am I right? Am I right? Just loading it. Wish they allowed you to have more slides on here. That would
Yeah,
be no.
yeah.
That's the wrong one.
Okay.
That's the wrong
Anyway,
one.
in the Field of
Yeah.
Reeds, and like I said, this script has been so meticulously crafted that there's literally no fat on every sentence that they utter. And if you don't know what a certain or specific sentence you're referring to, then you just miss that part of the puzzle. And so Tawret in the Fields of Reed says to Stephen that this is the peace that he is manifesting. So there's no
Mm.
more danger, no more loneliness, and no more hurting.
Mm.
So that kind of says that Mark has developed personalities against his pain. So his pain is loneliness, um, it's
Mm-hmm.
danger, fear of danger, and it's hurting.
Yep.
Fear of danger, we've already established that Stephen was created to ward off the pain of the fear of danger. So that's why Stephen exists.
Yep.
To hurt. So when when he got beaten up by his mom, um, he wasn't being Stephen wasn't getting beaten up. That's another personality. So we can kind of
Yeah.
assume that that was Jake, because Jake, he looks like a psychopath. So we kind of think that Jake is the one that got beaten up by his mom all the time and
Mm.
is the one doing the massacring.
Mm.
But then Taurat also says there's no loneliness. So I kind of think that Scotty is the one that's created versus loneliness, and which would make a lot of sense, because a Spanish-speaking psychopath wouldn't be the one that would set up a date with the girl in the
Mm-hmm.
museum. And Mark, who still loves Layla, he wouldn't either set up a date
Yeah.
with the girl in the museum. So having a part of the personality who fights loneliness, I think that's actually the one that set up the date, because
Mm.
what do you do when you feel lonely? You set up a date and you go
Yeah.
eat a steak. Um, and then I got thinking, which parts of the series also depict loneliness, and that's when you
Mm-hmm.
see little Mark celebrating his birthday with his dad, and he's blowing out 10 candles, and
Yeah.
his mom isn't there. So they really do a good job at showing how lonely that must have felt. And if you
Mm.
notice, or if you look at the scene again, he blows out the candles, and then his eyes go up. So I think every time loneliness comes in, then Scotty comes in, and that's
That's a
why,
massive find. That's a
yeah,
massive find.
and I
Yeah.
think
Huge.
that's why he was bullied by his boss in the museum, and when he's on inventory, being on inventory means that you're the last one in the museum, because you just have to count stuff. And I
Yeah.
think the security guard is also the last guy in there. So when you feel lonely, it's normal that the other guy, the maybe third or fourth personality, comes out to talk with the security guys, have a chat. And that's why the security guard refers to him in episode 1 and 2 as Scotty.
Yeah. What do you reckon, guys? What do you reckon? I think that's pretty solid. And for those that watch the show after, make sure you leave a comment in the comments because I feel like that's a pretty good. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a pretty good angle to come from.
Spanish speaking Jake won't be setting up a date, man.
I just don't think he would be either.
No.
And it makes me think as well, right? When we see busted up, whoever it is in the what's a Scotty? How dare you? How
Easy
dare you,
protection versus
Marissa?
loneliness. So
How dare
Stephen,
you?
Stephen versus fear of danger, Scotty versus loneliness, and Jake just to massacre people.
Yeah. Hashtag I still believe in Scotty. Yes,
Yeah, man.
rants. Hashtag still believe.
Thanks, brother.
Well, it kind of when you think about the date, it still plagues me. And then even in the hospital when he's busted up, right? If that were Jake, he would have
Yeah.
just killed everybody. He would have.
He
You
would
know
have.
what I mean? He would.
He would
He
have
would have
though.
just killed everybody. So it couldn't have been Jake being bilingual, speaking English, trying to
Yeah,
get
that
out.
doesn't make sense for me
Because
though.
everything we've seen from Jake, he just kills everybody.
Yeah,
And he had the metal, sorry, the glass pyramid that he could have just
pyramids. Yeah,
stabbed everybody with. Yeah, like, and
yeah.
they've already shown he can take out multiple people in one go, like he did. He took out freaking Harrow and other
Do you
people.
think
So
there's more?
no, I just think, oh no. Luke, no.
So Luke,
Look.
tell me, who set up the date then?
He's just driving it. I'm just going to leave it up there just to dig into you, Anthony. Luke's just driving it home to your brother.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
like if
would have made
it were Jake, man, he would have killed everybody. So
yeah, that would have made Mark set up the date with the girl in the museum or
Mhm.
another personality.
Or Stephen, but if Stephen had and forgot
No,
about
not
it, it kind of
Stephen,
doesn't
not
make
Stephen.
sense. Yeah, he
Doesn't make
just
sense.
didn't, and he's vegan. And again, he's vegan,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
wouldn't have gone to a steakhouse.
And I truly don't believe it's Mark because he wants to be on a mission and then set up
Yeah.
a date. It doesn't make sense for Mark because he still loves
It doesn't
Layla.
make
So
sense.
there's someone else who set the date, and it makes sense that someone else is fighting loneliness,
Yeah,
just like
and
Tauret
look,
says. Yeah.
and Tauret says it again. There's hidden meaning in everything, and I'm hoping that we get to see more of that in the future as they go. Because if we get onto the wrap up of the series, right? So everybody in the chat who's still here, do you want to chuck in what your rating of the episode is? Whether you think it was a full moon, whether you think it was a crescent moon, whether you think it was, you know, I think they're the only three that we do, right? So full moon is great. Crescent moon is okay. No, half moon. Sorry, half moon is okay, and crescent moon is not so good because this is probably a half moon for me. This finale episode, if I'm honest, compared to the others. I'm just going to type it in because I've got to find the. I'm probably going to go. Oh, hang on. Where's my half moon?
I can't find it though.
Yeah, where's my half moons? Unless you type. Oh, here we go. It's probably a half moon for me, just more because they didn't tie up some of the things I wanted them to tie up. Muito was only a crescent. Damn. Yeah, that hurt.
That hurt.
That hurt. Whilst there was still awesome things going on, I think that some of the things that they didn't answer, like the judges were the big ones for me. The other avatars, that was a kind of just brushed over, I feel like, which kind of ruined that part in that episode where they had the trial for me. So that bit let me down a little bit. But I understand, it would be extremely difficult to tie everything together in the amount of time they had. But in saying that, Anthony.
Yeah. For me, it's a half moon because it felt rushed, and they didn't wrap up as much as I would have liked it. Half moon because of Nezuko.
And that.
Because the power level of Harrow felt rushed. Ahmed felt a bit rushed. Layla felt a bit rushed. But they did give us big cliffhangers for a second series.
Yeah, or a movie.
Yeah,
or a movie. Could be a movie. Could be a movie. Because they've already established a lot of the character arc. It could go on to full on a movie. And thanks, Butch. John, you've totally made my day having Cap standing there. Such a heroic pose, bro. Appreciate it, mate. Love it. As far as the episode Half Moon, yeah. Now, for the episode Half Moon, but for the series for me, Full Moon, because I loved the entire series. It was still my favorite series.
Yeah.
The fact that it was a self-contained story that still connects to the MCU, is they've set up so much other stuff in the MCU. I feel, even though they didn't release other gods, and that wasn't a part that we thought might happen. The fact that they've introduced 2 new superheroes with really cool backstories and just so much more to explore. I'm just saying, just kidding, Half Moon, because it feels rushed. Yeah, it did feel a bit rushed, but I still have faith in Marvel that I know that they're going to explore that character more as they go. Hopefully. I feel like they wouldn't ruin such an opportunity with the cast and crew that they've used. It was a bit sad to possibly see Harrow bite the dust. That was a bit of a letdown, but I can understand Heath and Hawke. It might be hard to wrangle in there, and plus
Yeah,
it added to the moment of how bad Jake Lockley is, I guess.
a bit more than possibly getting shot like that. And Luke Scott got me focused on why Khonshu is looking like a pimp.
Yeah, well, he's a pimp, yo. Like, he's balling now. He's in a freaking limo.
Because he's looked the same. He's looked the same for Mr. Knight and for Moon Knight, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
why
he
does he
did.
look different now? It's like Jake is living on another level than Mark
Yeah.
and Steven
But
are.
it's also like he's just the driver for
Yeah,
Khonshu,
but it seems like
almost.
he knows more. So it kind of
Mm.
for me it kind of feels like the Harrow room is put in like a fail safe, and Mark is just
Uh-huh.
above that with Khonshu.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I really, you know what I'm looking forward? I hope they bring out the behind the scenes on Disney Plus like they have for the other
Yeah,
series.
yeah. Yeah, they
I
have.
want to
So
see. Yeah, they
I
should,
think they'll
right?
do. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they'll
they
do.
should do. I think it's generally a week after. Generally
Yeah.
a week after airing, I think they do that. Is Khonshu, Maritza said, is Khonshu more integrated with Jake?
Yeah, that's what I
I
think.
would think so.
Jake is
I would
more in the
think so.
know. He's like his right
Yeah,
hand, and Mark
yeah,
and Steven are just thinking they're like his right hand.
yeah. Because maybe Jake being he's more of the mercenary, I guess, and maybe that's again relating to who Harrow saw, the mercenary.
Yeah,
But then again, Harrow didn't really know. To be fair, Harrow didn't know who the heck he was, unless he did, and that's why he had so much fear.
could be.
Do you think when he saw him, he was like shitting himself? Like give Jake access to more of Khonshu's powers,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
because Mark wasn't as powerful as I thought he would be.
yeah. And Jake clearly
But
is.
again, Jake clearly is. And is that because he doesn't have a conscience? Maybe? Or is he just more powerful in general?
Yeah, I
Again, a
think he
lot of
just has
questions
access to
left.
more. I think that's a right way of putting it. That he has more access to conscious power,
Yeah. Maybe
at
he
least
does because he
consciously.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because Mark is reluctant to kill people, maybe. And Jake's not.
yeah. But I
Makes him the
also think
perfect
Jake just
weapon.
knows more than the both of them.
Mm,
He's more in the know. He's like his personal assistant.
yeah. And he's also so strong, possibly, that's why they don't know he's there.
Yeah.
He does a better job of it. Harrow accepted Ahmed. He had more power. There you go.
Yeah, true. But I would have loved if he kind of morphed or the cane got weirdly
Yeah.
strong. Yeah.
Why am I theorizing? And the show's over. Damn you, Moon Knight. I know.
Yeah, it feels like the end of an era.
Yeah. Well, I will say, like, it was a journey. It was so much fun
Yeah.
to go on the journey every week and just see what they did. And like to summarize, I guess the whole show for me, um, if we touch on our last topics where we go, how does it connect to the MCU? Well, I think it connects to the MCU by opening up the gods, the god realm, which will obviously maybe be explored more in Thor: Love and Thunder. Didn't
Yeah.
connect to it how I thought it would, but
No.
I still think it did, to a certain degree. And then Are We Entertained? I loved it. Still my favorite Marvel show. Really, 5 amazing episodes and 1 pretty good episode.
Yeah, and the pretty good episode actually opens up a lot more for
yeah,
indeed movies or a second series. So that it did well. Yeah.
yes, it did well. And it looks here like in the background, right? It looks like they're in London or England still with that building in the background, right? I'm pretty sure that building's in England or London.
Yeah, well,
So they obviously brought him back to that as opposed to leaving him in Egypt, I think. So that's interesting that they showed it like that, But yeah, everybody else's thoughts. Final thoughts for you, Anthony. Where does it leave you?
Like I said, the MCU movie of Moon Knight is just secondary to it being a big puzzle. And the big puzzle is what made it really brilliant. And I think a lot of people are missing that that's actually what the movie is trying to do. And also it being a MCU movie. So the MCU movie was okay, but the puzzle, it was brilliant, man. So
yeah.
it was
And
5
the
out of
acting,
5 for me.
the
Yeah,
delving
yeah,
into the disorder, delving into personalities. Oscar Isaac's performance was amazing. I think
Yeah,
Ethan Hawke's performance was amazing. All of them, Layla, all their performances were amazing. Really,
yeah.
um,
And the possibilities
and
are limitless.
and
Actually,
just like
it's like
laughing
Legion.
about it. Thanks for being here, Xander, legend.
Yeah,
Yeah, it for me, I loved if you take away the fact that it's an MCU show, like you said, and you just take it as a show without any expectations, it's amazing.
yeah,
And for people who watch it and don't overthink it, I don't think they would be as upset about certain things that maybe wasn't upset, but like noticed in the last episode. But for people who do, you get so much more out of it than
yeah. That's what I think.
that you miss. I
Yeah,
got so much out of it, more so, and I'm coming out of it excited for what is next.
yeah,
Excited to see where they put them. Excited to see how they continue the story. Um, Seeing him come in, it's kind of like they love to do the cliffhanger, and it like I know it can upset you if you want it resolved. A lot of people want to
hmm
have it fully resolved. I'm okay with it not being fully resolved because I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next.
yeah. Me
Like
too. Me too.
I just finished the show Ozark, and that closed up. Like I just literally finished the finale the other day, and that's a show that always was left open ended. So I guess I'm conditioned to watching shows that are always leaving things open ended. Um, and when it's final, it's gone. So I think the fact that they didn't close everything off should give everybody hope that we're going to see the character more. And if you think about it like a origin story,
hmm
this is a 6 hour, just under 6 hour origin story. If you'd looked at it like that, we've seen more about his backstory and who he is, and opened up more than any character we've seen in the MCU to
Yeah.
date. That I feel like in
Do you think
regards to
maybe? I'm kind of thinking. Do you think maybe that they heard that there's going to be a second season during shooting? That they were going to wrap things up, but then heard we're going to do a second season because it was
maybe I
already
don't
done
know.
before it aired.
Well, I feel like if you think about the fish tank scene, I feel like they would have filmed all. I would feel like they would have filmed all those apartment scenes in one. You know what I mean? Like when you think about
Yeah,
logistics of filming and stuff, they use certain locations. So that whole area, that place, whether it's on a lot or whatever, I feel like would have been done all at the same time, maybe.
yeah,
And then they go to different locations to shoot other things. They don't generally go film episode by episode. They plan it all out and film it all in one spot. There was a movie I got to be an extra on that filmed here in Perth last year, and I got to be an extra on it. And what I noticed there was they filmed this whole nightclub scene, which
hmm
had different points throughout it, all in the one shot, like it was all in the one go.
yeah,
Even though it would be through different parts of the movie and stuff. So I feel like they would have known already.
yeah.
It's just
Oh,
confusing people the fact that they submitted it as a limited series.
mhm,
But I'm not looking too much into that because
yeah.
you could put it in there and then next year go, oh, we're going to do another season, or
True.
we're going to do a movie, or there's no, just because you submit it for an award doesn't mean you're not going to do anything again.
Yeah.
It could just be them being cheeky, wanting to nominate it because they love his performance so much they want to see him get credit. It could just be that. I don't know, but I'm not worried. I know we'll see more of Moon Knight down the road.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
You know,
confident.
even more than Moon Knight, I'm going to miss doing these analytics or these theorizing sessions
Yeah.
each Saturday or
Yes.
Sunday, depending on where you live. I'll miss that
Yes.
even more, though.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, mate, and I hope everybody in the chat who's come along for the ride and who's been watching has enjoyed the ride. Now, this is the part where I pitch to Anthony that we do Obi-Wan Kenobi in a different style. It'll be a different style because there might not be as much to unpack.
Yeah.
But if we get together and we chat about the episode maybe and have some fun with it, other than that, I think we should do Doctor Strange 2, Anthony. What do you think?
Yeah,
What do you guys in the
which
chat
would be
think?
good.
Should we come back for Doctor Strange 2 next week? I'm calling next week.
Yeah, is
What do
that
you
okay
reckon?
for everyone next week? Because I don't know how everyone's schedule is in seeing Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Let on the chat if you've seen Doctor Strange or you think you can see it before next this same day next week. Would you love to come for? Red's like, I'll miss waking up at 5:30 a.m. Let us know. If you let us know, we'd love. We've both seen Doctor Strange too, so I would love to talk to Anthony about it. We won't have all the slides, but I'll grab clips where I can, and maybe just have a discussion on what we think about what they've done and everything that happened in it and all that type of stuff. It'll be a spoiler discussion. You have the high ground at the moment. Perfect. So, well, my pitch is that we come back and we do Doctor Strange 2 next week, and then we have our break. I think there'll be a week after that, and then we come back for Obi-Wan, and we just see how it goes.
It starts the
in the
27th, right?
discussion. 27th, yeah. Your narration and explanation of Moon Knight characters was on point. Anthony and John, over and all, I love the show and can't wait to see more of Moon Knight. Awesome. Thanks a lot,
Thanks, man.
Butch.
Yeah.
Legend.
Great having
That
you.
makes us feel great because we really love just chatting, and that's why it's an interactive, and we interact with the chat. Everything you guys bring up, because it's about us getting to know more people and doing more stuff. So Tom's in. Beautiful, Tom. Legend. Just watched it last Wednesday. Awesome, Renz. Doctor Strange. Butcher said.
Cool.
Awesome. So if you've seen Doctor Strange and you can get a chance to see it, if you haven't already, come join us maybe next weekend, same time, same place, and we'll go through Doctor Strange. And I've got so much I want to talk about with Anthony, and we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. So let's try and save it for that, so we can let it all out.
Yeah, I might need to see it a second time, because
I know I feel like
the series I've watched
well.
like a dozen of times, but I only seen Doctor Strange once.
Yes. I definitely want to see it again. If I can sneak away this week, I'm going to go and see it again. But let's have a chat discussion next week. We'll go through Doctor Strange, because the rundown, my idea with the show of the rundown is the rundown will continue, and we just run down different things, and then we bring in different series, different shows. It doesn't even have to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for me. If we ever went into a show, I'm trying to convince Anthony to watch like Billions or Ozark, because I'd love to go through that with him.
Billions was the second one. Yeah, I forgot.
Billions is a good one. I appreciate it, Tom.
Thanks, man.
This was a trial for us. This was a trial to see if we could even bring anything to the table to talk about, and I feel like we had a good time, and we brought some fun things to it. So it's been good. It's going to be sad for me, but we'll be back for Doctor Strange next week, and then we'll just see where we go.
Yeah,
I definitely think Obi-Wan is going to be fun to talk about. It's looking good.
Yeah,
it's looking
definitely.
real good. I think I need to brush up on the and some cool figures, bro. I think so. Renz, you're too nice, brother.
Thanks,
we got a full moon. We'll have to come up with a new rating system for whatever maybe for Doctor Strange we'll have to think of something fun to rate it out. It's a different rating system. That can be a challenge to try and think about how we can rate things. I just don't want to do the 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5 or whatever. I want to do something different to rate whatever it is that we watch. I think that'd be good.
You can do it red to black, maybe.
Red to black. Yeah. We can definitely do something. We'll come up with something. But all in all, I had a great time. Love the series. I'm going to watch it all again from start to finish and probably binge like a couple episodes at a time, just to enjoy it for just watching it, and see if I notice anything else, rather than watching it to try and rack my brain of what's going on. Just watch it and enjoy it. On a different level. That'd be something I do. Maybe I watch when it comes to my Marvel and superhero films and DC and that, I will rewatch things so many times anyway. So it's going to be good to like maybe take a break from it, come back and watch it again.
Yeah, to be honest, I've watched Moon Knight too many times now. So I don't think I'll be watching it before season 2 or before a movie or anything. And there's enough to watch. So
there's enough other stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Well, we're spoiled. We've got Obi-Wan starting soon. So whatever the next thing is. But I love Doctor Strange. I'm looking forward to chatting with everybody about that, because that was super fun.
Yeah.
And delving into that. But I'm probably going to watch Doctor Strange 1 again actually this week, just to
that might be
refresh
good,
that in my mind. Yeah, just to refresh that in my mind. And
maybe WandaVision and Loki as well.
Yeah. Here we go. Anthony's going to be messaging me through the week. I just watched WandaVision for the 13th time, and I noticed this.
Yeah, I just watched The One Who Remains talk again, and he says this and this. Yeah.
Yes, do that. The thing on Disney Plus where they go through the little clips of their story, the little 8-minute videos that they do, that's really good. I watched them again the other night, just showing Wanda's journey and Stephen Strange's journey and Wong's journey. I know you want a Wong figure, so hopefully they bring
I need a Wong.
Wong.
They can just give me Gilgamesh and just change Gilgamesh a bit, and then you have a Wong.
Yeah, And why don't we, for the people who collect Hot Toys, I'm thinking most people here collect Hot Toys, for the Doctor Strange, we'll maybe write a list of what figures we'd like to see from that movie, and we'll chat about that and just see what we can see will come out from it. Because there was quite a few potentials.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Quite a few. So it'd be interesting. Anyway, I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. I think Moon Knight has come to a close. And what a way to finish, seeing Mark, Stephen, Jake, whoever else, and Khonshu drive out the door with a dead body in the car. Basically. They couldn't even wait till they got out of the compound.
Like a pimp.
Yeah, like a bloody pimp. But look, guys, it's been great. Anthony, it's been such a pleasure. I'm so glad that we decided to do this together.
Yeah, man.
You are the man.
Thanks for inviting me.
I look forward. Oh, mate, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I knew that you were the man to do it with. I've had such a great time. So I think hopefully we get all you guys back next week. I'm looking forward to it. We'll bust out some Doctor Strange. I'll make the thumbnail and get it out there sometime this week.
Cool.
And let's have some fun next week too, guys. But until then, I think that's it for us today. We're going to go celebrate Mother's Day here today.
It's today.
So it should be a good one. Yeah, it's today for us. So it's time to go be the husband now and go have a good fun day. All right, guys. Till next time. We'll see you next week. Appreciate you.